are the bagpipes the first instrument you've picked up?
Yeah, pipes are the first instrument I've ever picked up. I mean, like in school, got the chance to do a few different instruments, but I could never. The options I didn't think were really there for me because I have no use of my right index finger due to chronic pain, and I also have arthritis in loads of my joints at the moment as well. So like other people were playing keyboard and the rest of that sort of stuff, but that wasn't an option for me. But when the opportunity came up to learn the pipes at school, I just thought, why not? Just go for it.
That's great.
I mean, it got me out of history, which I really didn't enjoy all that much. So it was there was nothing lost with it. So I just like thought, why not? And then when I saw like the chanter, I saw like how most people played, and I thought, well, why don't I do a slightly different way? Because most people would have like their hands in a normal position and like not be using the pinky on the top hand.
Right.
Whereas like when I'm playing, I have my hands reversed and I just don't use my right index finger.
Yeah.
So sort of change it up a bit. It's quite hard to describe actually. And when people see me playing, they're like, "Why are you playing it like that?" But it's the way I like started to play, so I don't know any different with it. But
yeah,
like it was after hearing like the Red Hot Chili Pipers. Like I heard their the tune that really started it for me was like "Wake Me Up."
Oh, sure.
That I heard them play, and like I just thought that is just like I didn't think bagpipes could do that.
Yeah.
And then once I like got into the piping a bit more, like when I first started off on the chanter, I didn't enjoy it all that much, and I was practice just so I could tell the teacher I've practiced. And to be quite honest, I sounded like a snake charmer. Like
Yeah.
the high A's, I couldn't blow to save myself. But
Yeah.
I mean, like that's just one of these things with learning it, I suppose. But it was only after hearing like obviously the Red Hot Chili Pipers, but Lincoln Hilton and Gordon Duncan, Ross and Ali, Ali Levac as well, and all these like phenomenal pipers and like the modern side of piping rather than just traditional.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the traditional stuff.
Of course,
but,
yeah.
Like, and I'm hoping to go out competing next year with a lot more of that sort of jazz. But yeah, I'm really into like the modern piping and all of Gordon's tunes.
Yeah.
And what also really motivated me to progress from the chanter to the pipes was I needed surgery. Because I developed in 2020. It was I got diagnosed with scoliosis, which was like curves in my back. So my spine was basically an S shape, and it was really impacting my life, and it was just kept on getting worse, really. And without spinal fusion surgery, they wouldn't be able to do anything about it because it was so severe. And it was the only option was to get this surgery, but it was very high risk. And they didn't know if I would be able to actually breathe properly after the surgery. And so I thought, well, if I don't progress from chanter to pipes now, you know, like I want to achieve my goal while I still can and use this time that I've got. And that made me really determined to progress, and so I started practicing a lot more, trying to get the technique a bit better and all the rest of that. And I met a busker in Dundee. It's not too far from where I live actually. I live in Carnoustie. Because at school, although I was getting lessons there, I couldn't progress from chanter to pipes because because COVID and the lockdown and everything had to with the school because of COVID, everything had to be online for all blowing instruments.
Oh, sure,
And
yeah.
yeah, and it was a real struggle because no matter like what the teachers wanted to do, they could not like let me progress to the pipes through
Mm.
school, and it was just so frustrating that like I couldn't achieve this goal of mine, and I thought that if I don't do it now, then when
There we
I
go.
don't.
Hey, Katie, I'm so sorry. I lost audio for a minute there.
Oh,
I hate to make you repeat yourself, but we got almost to where you'd almost met this busker. You were so close, and then it went silent, and so I lost the end of the story there.
oh,
I'm so sorry.
cliffhanger, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I could go back and stitch it together. I'm really sorry to ask you to do it, but can you back up a little bit to right when you were where it lost you were frustrated because you wanted to get your goal, but you couldn't get into school because of COVID and stuff, and you met this busker. Tell me back up a little bit for me if you would.
Yeah, so I couldn't progress at school, but I knew that I was gonna like need this spinal surgery at some point, and so like I was so desperate to be able to progress and achieve my goal while I could, and so I met this busker Liam when he was busking in Dundee, and he said he'd find me a set of pipes.
Mm.
And he found me a set of 2004 Kintails.
No, wait, did
And
you know him before this, or was it just like you went up to him on the street and said, "Hey, I've only got a little bit of time before this surgery, and I want some pipes. Will you help me?" And he was just like, "Yeah, sure."
yeah,
That's
pretty
it, huh?
much. I'd seen him a few times before,
Yeah.
and never put some money in his case, but never really like spoke to him
Yeah.
when I saw him. But I always used to be impressed with all the tunes that he could belt out, and like just the actual sound of the bagpipes rather than a squeaky chanter that I was pretty hopeless on. But yeah, so I got these like pipes, and I got lessons with Liam for a while.
Mm.
So that was great, but like piping, it became apparent that it was just like such a huge part of my life, and from then on, and like after 3 months on the pipes, I had I thought, well, you know what, I'm just gonna enter the Royal National Mod,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought I don't stand a chance in winning this, but I thought, you know what, it's just about getting my name out there and getting sort of more well known in this community, and just like
Yeah.
getting to meet people
Well, you were
and
you were kind of
whatever.
going after it hard and fast anyway, right? Like just progressing and stuff. Like, why not, huh? Just why not shoot for everything, huh?
Well, I just thought, what am I losing by
Yeah.
doing it? So,
It might have got you
um,
out of more history classes too, right?
oh yeah.
There you
Well, they've
go.
got to give me time to practice, eh?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, so it was online at that point, but I got my videos for it. To be quite honest, I only took them with one shot because I thought, I'm not going to win any. What's the point in taking your 500 attempts to try and get something?
You just took the one attempt, huh?
Yeah, I just took the one attempt because I thought, well, I missed that road in there, and I did this and I did that. I didn't even have a kilt by then because, well, 3 months on the pipes, like I didn't.
Nobody has a kilt that quick. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just like was in a pure Primark t-shirt or something like
Yeah.
that. Just leggings and a Primark t-shirt, and it wasn't actually my best clothes. They were just like what I wear mucking around the house.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, oh God, why did I wear that? But I mean, it was quite fortunate because they really didn't judge it on that, because I got a first and a second.
Yeah.
Like I entered in the March category, and I got like a first in that, and then in the March Strathspey and Reel I managed to get a second, and it's like
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I had only had the tunes a month as well.
Do you remember which
Um,
tunes those were?
Oh God. Well, the March was the Barren Rocks of Aden.
Oh, sure.
And then for the March Strathspey and Reel, I played a different march. I played Captain Norman. Are you still there?
Here we go. I'm back now. I'm so sorry. It happens every once in a while. So I got your march, but then what did you play for the MSR?
Yeah, so for the MSR, it was Captain Norman R. Ewan for my march, and then Stuart Robertson for the Strathspey. First Strathspey I'd ever played, actually.
That's pretty impressive that you got second. Those Strathspeys, that's a tricky form, you know.
Like I had just like learned, like I hadn't had the tune in a long time, and then like I didn't have a clue how to play it, and
Yeah.
I just got handed the music and got told play it, and well, I just did what I was told, I suppose. But and then the reel was Lord MacDonald. So don't think I'd played like a reel in that style before either, but it wasn't about like even having a chance of winning. I just thought, like, I've got nothing else to do, and why not? And like it's like this community, there's just been so much acceptance I found, and like I don't have a lot of friends like outside of piping, and a lot of people judge me, just they look at the wheels and they don't look at the person. And it's happened ever since I was really quite young, and people would just like question me, and you'd get like people just coming up in the supermarket and just saying, why is she in a wheelchair? And not even kids, it was mostly adults. Which was quite a shocking thing, I found.
Yeah.
And then like I actually had a feeding tube in for a while because I had like a bad Crohn's, and you'd have people coming up and asking if I had cancer and everything, and it was just like people were just like so they weren't interested in me, they were just curious and being nosy, and no one ever really like I never really found like acceptance in other walks of life really, and just like I mean, like at school it is quite hard sometimes when everyone else, like, you know, like everyone else, they just like, you know, get on with it, and then like, you know, they're all in their wee groups, and then I'm sort of like don't have anyone, but with like, and I've not seen any other like pipers in wheelchairs anyway.
Hey, here we
Oh,
go, Katie. Sorry about that. I got you right up to where you were saying that you hadn't seen any pipers in wheelchairs, and I was going to respond to you that I haven't either, and that's part of, you know, Katie. That's one of the things that I've thought about, that when I was young and learning to play the pipes, I had some instructors who told me that if I played my pipe sitting down, I'd get a hernia for sure. You know, like it
yeah,
would damage my muscles, and so that's part of why I'm like, my goodness, you know, and to some degree, what I've learned since then, like I've seen Fred Morrison, he always sits down to play, you know, and so
yeah,
like, and I think maybe that's partly kind of an old wives' tale, you know, like oh, you better not sit down, but maybe
yeah,
also like these guys might have been thinking of like, you know, the real gut buster reads that they would be handing out at band practice, you know, maybe
yeah.
not an easier read, but. No, you're proof that you can play sitting down consistently, and so, but yeah, that's one of the things that surprised me when I first saw you play, and I was like, well, now wait a minute, you can't sit down and play. That's not something you can do. There you go.
Well, my class music teacher actually told me that I wouldn't be able to play the pipes in a wheelchair because I'm sitting down, and that's not what's done, and they could play like the bassoon and the this and the that and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't play the pipes. They couldn't get a note out of them, and I actually got marked down on my music report for that.
Did you save that
And
music report? You
yeah,
got that's got to be in the scrapbook. That's important. That's great.
because like I didn't even like, I was just on the chanter at that point,
Yeah.
and I asked them like, why am I marked down on my music report? And they said, well, you can play the chanter fine. That's one thing, right? But you're probably not going to progress to the pipes. I wouldn't count your bets on it, and I wouldn't hope for it, because you're in a wheelchair, and it's, you know, it's not what's done. And to be told that by a teacher,
Oh,
I'm
sure,
gonna be
yeah.
quite honest, it did actually inspire me to like progress more just to prove them wrong.
That's right. That's good.
And
That's great though.
I don't.
I love the unexpected motivation, Katie, that like on the one hand you have like, well, it'll get me out of history class. And then on the other hand you also have, oh, I'll prove them wrong. You just carry on.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I
great.
can be quite a complicated character sometimes,
Yeah.
but it was quite funny as well because like now I'm in fourth year at school and I don't do music as a subject, and like that they've got new teachers since like I did music a few years back. And so the new teachers didn't actually know I could play the bagpipes.
Ah.
They had heard like the story of, oh yeah, there's a girl that plays the chanter, but nothing about like someone
set
that
of
actually
pipes.
plays the bagpipes.
Yeah.
And so they were doing this school music competition, and I thought, you know what, I'll sign myself up to it. So I went to see them and said, like for the audition thing that they had, and so they were just like saying, well, Katie, can you play the pipes? And I
Like
was
they were worried about you, right? Like, oh dear,
yeah.
she's gonna try for the first time on stage and be crushed. Are you sure about
and
this?
they didn't even know I could play the pipes.
Yeah.
They thought she's just going to be entering on the chanter, and she doesn't even like
Yeah.
know how to play, sort of thing. And but then I went and did it, and then you should have seen their faces because I had to take a wee recording to show the other staff members and that. And,
Oh, yeah.
the eyebrows, the teacher's eyebrows just went up and up and up when she was filming, and she was just like, the faster I was going and the more she was just like,
Yeah.
she looked like she was about to pass out. She was that shocked.
Do you remember what tunes you played for that?
So for that I played Gordon Duncan's Sleeping Tune.
Oh, that one's beautiful.
Into Thunderstruck.
Oh, did
and
you?
Then, yeah, one of my favourites. And then into Zito the Bubble Man.
Oh, another great one. That's a great set. Wow. And wait a minute. At that point, you'd been playing for how long?
Oh God, 1 year that was.
Man.
But
Katie, you
there
know,
was, like,
I've been
other-
playing for like 20 years, and I still can't get Zito the Bubble Man down.
Oh, it's a brilliant tune.
It is. It's an
just-
amazing tune. I love it, but I still
it's
can't
my
get it
favourite
down steady.
hornpipe.
That's great. Way to go. That's awesome.
Well, I actually won the competition actually with
Well,
it.
good, and rightly so.
Um,
Any teenager who can play those tunes ought to win whatever they're doing. That's what I would say. That's amazing.
It was just hilarious because the judge was looked about 70 plus or something.
Yeah.
Really fairly old to be judging it, but I thought, oh God, you're not going to be liking all this modern piping here.
Oh,
You want to
sure,
be-
yeah.
You're going to want Scotland the Brave or something.
Yeah.
And he had his glasses on, and you could just see him steaming up when I was playing, and he's just like, he puts down his pen and he just stares.
Yeah.
And he's meant to be taking notes, and he's just staring.
Yeah.
And he's just like, gives me the biggest clap you've ever seen at the end, and it's like, and then they're announcing the results, and they're like, and the winner is Katie Robertson
Wow.
on the bagpipes playing whatever, and it's like, I couldn't actually believe it. I thought, no, you're gonna be wanting like to hear the traditional. I mean, pipes aren't for everyone. Like, you love
That's
them
true.
or hate them.
Yeah.
You're gonna want like piano or something that you can't really, you can't really go wrong with. But,
Sure.
and then that was the same day actually that I got some really quite exciting news. You see, I had auditioned for the National Youth Pipe Band of Scotland because I heard them playing Thunderstruck, and I just thought, nah, it's like, that is just too cool.
Yeah,
Like,
as a group, that's great.
yeah, like I've heard like, I love pipe bands, but like I thought that is something else playing like Thunderstruck. Like, how can they play that in time with each other as
Right,
well?
yeah.
And then all the harmonies that they do on all the different sets, and I thought, no, that's just too cool. I need to be a part of that. So I submitted, like, the first stage was like video submissions for it. So I went in and played an MSR and a slow air and jig, but there was one slight problem I had with that, is that I had concussion when I was doing it.
Did you really?
It was quite funny because
Did you feel like you knew what you were doing, or did you kind of phase in and out?
well, the thing is, I was busking the day before, and I was like going great, and then I got hit in the head with a bass drone.
Not your own, though?
No, it was actually Liam's had the
Oh,
pipes
no.
on his shoulder, and it was so unfortunate.
He must
just,
have felt terrible.
Like, yeah, tuning up the chanter, and you can just picture this part. It's like they were on his shoulder, and then like the bass drone just comes
Just
thudding
tipped forward.
forward,
Yeah.
right in the centre of my head, and
Oh,
I
no.
was just frozen, like in shock. And I had to go to A&E actually, because I thought it was fine at the time, and I thought, right, I'm just going to keep on busking.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes after, it was like, oh, well, I'm fine. It's fine. It's only hitting the head with a bass drone. I mean, a big stick with metal on the end, but that's fine.
But also, let's just remember, like, oh, I'm fine, I can keep going is like classic, I just got a concussion behavior.
Yeah, like I was in the centre of Dundee,
Yeah.
and there was like loads of people going around. Actually, it was a really busy day, and it was great money making potential for busking.
Oh, yeah, good busking day, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was cracking. Sun was out as well, and but then like once I did actually continue busking, but then when I got home, oh my god, like I just could not stop yawning, and I was like I could tell there was something wrong, and I had to go up to A&E, and I had to try and explain to them, well, I play the bagpipes, and they're thinking, oh God, she really has got some damage. She's going on about playing the bagpipes in a wheelchair, what? But no, my mum was like, no, like genuinely this happened. But I said to them, can I get a note, please? Because I've got to audition for the National Youth Pipe Band of Scotland. And
It sounds like us.
I've
She's
only had my
gone
jig-
delusional.
Yeah, and I've only had my jig a week here, and like I need to be able to play this. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to memorise it, and how am I meant to memorise it when I've got concussion? But they were like, no, Kate, you're not getting a note. You just got to get on with it. But you can only play for half an hour to
Oh,
try
wow.
and get the videos, and the videos had to be in on that Tuesday, and I think this was the Saturday I got the concussion.
And for such a prestigious group, I've got to imagine those videos are on pipes. They're not going to accept just on a chanter, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and the problem was as well is that I couldn't even practice my chanter because I wasn't allowed to do anything which required focus until the Tuesday actually that they were meant to be in.
Oh, man.
And so it was so much pressure because I couldn't even practice the tunes at all. I mean, not even like on the digital pipes or anything,
Right,
like
yeah.
nothing that required any form of focus. I wasn't even allowed to play video games. I just had to basically do nothing.
Oh,
but
man. I mean, you couldn't even just look at the sheet music and imagine playing it.
no, I wasn't even allowed to do that because, I mean, I would have, but they just said, no, you can't. And so that day, got out the pipes and I was like, please let the pipes be working. And thankfully they were. But,
That's because you took good care of them, right? You were keeping up on your pipes maintenance.
Yeah, I have to. They're so temperamental.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I did the tunes, and I knew I could have done them better, but I just thought, like, I had that one chance to get them, so it was that or nothing.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to submit these anyway, and, like, if I don't get
was
in,
this
I
the first
tried-
take again, Katie? Did you not?
Yeah.
No,
So this was
really?
just like the mods, just doing one take and
Yeah,
that was it.
that's great.
This time I didn't have a choice about it.
Right,
but,
yeah, it's not like you could do otherwise, huh?
Yeah, and it was just like, because by the time I got them tuned up, it had like taken like a wee while, so I had like one chance to get it.
Yeah,
and
you've
I'm
got your
like,
30 minutes counting
go-
down, huh?
Yeah, and it's like a 10-minute set you've got to do for it. You've got to do. I did like an MSR and then a hornpipe and jig and then a slow air as well. And like I had that one attempt and then I was utterly gobsmacked when I got an email back from them saying, hey Katie, you've made it through the first part of our audition,
Yeah.
and we'd love for you to come through to one of our in-person workshops so we can meet you there and see if you would be a fit for the band. And I thought, have they sent this to the wrong person? But I thought, no, they must have. So then I go through to Glasgow, and so it was absolutely. I had like such a great time, but I thought I've only been playing the pipes a year. Like to be able to make it this far I'm really happy with that.
Yeah,
And I
already
think
feeling good, of course, yeah.
I thought that was a good achievement. If it doesn't go anywhere further from here, I've tried my hardest, and there's always next year. Like, and so I went through, and there was like all the other young pipers, which felt really strange to play with other young pipers.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was
Because to that point, had you
like
played with a band in Dundee?
so I played with I had played with a band for a while, the Dundee City Pipe Band.
Yeah.
Who it just wasn't really a fit for me. They tried to be an inclusive pipe band. However, I felt that for my situation, it wasn't really inclusive for me.
And it had to have been, like most pipe bands, also mostly old people, right?
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
like there was a few young members, but not that they were really playing with the main band. But it was non-competing as well, and I really wanted like more and like to really push myself, and like the members of the band, like the average age was what, like 50 to 70. So like it wasn't to be at the like, national youth, like that was just like such a brilliant day. And like I have left the Dundee City Pipe Band now, and like I hope to join a competing band one day and get in the circle, but at the moment, like I'm trying to focus on myself, because I'm hoping to go out like competing next year a lot, and just like really get into the solo side of things. But
Are you able to, like in a motorized chair, are you able to like run it with your elbow or something while you're driving or while you're playing, you know?
well, you know what? I can do that with a chanter.
Yeah.
I can do that with a practice chanter. I mean, you wouldn't like to see people's faces when I try it, because I think I'm going to run them over. But
I'd imagine especially your mother might be worried about you, huh?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
She's just going around her days doing the dishes, and then I'm just coming to words or playing a tune on the chanter, and there's dents in the walls. But I mean, hey, it's a learning curve, isn't it?
Sure, yeah.
But it's like with I'm actually going to be getting a manual wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
Because I set up a GoFundMe to raise money for it. And like I reached the target within 24 hours, and I honestly like could not believe it. Because I need this like I need like a manual wheelchair that I can be like pushed in and play at the same time. Because the electric wheelchair, as much as that's great, you can't like, you've not got a hope in pushing it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's like
Very
really heavy with
yeah.
it having like the motor, and I want
The
to
battery
like
and all that, yeah.
join a competing band one day, so that wouldn't really be an option with like, you know, not being able to move at all.
Of course, right, yeah.
And like for also like Highland Games and all that, so that I can go out competing, it's like I really need that manual chair for it, like so I can get bigger wheels on it, because I entered this Highland Games just in the summer, and so there was the boards, and it was quite soggy ground actually. It'd been raining quite a bit.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I thought the board didn't look too high, and I thought, well, everyone else competes on the board, I'm going to go up onto the board. And so the judge was in her tent, and so she was like, you know, keeping like a straight face, being the judge and all that, about to judge me. And so I'm trying to get up onto the board, and she couldn't keep a straight face because she was bloody terrified.
Oh no,
and she's like,
yeah.
has that thing got brakes on it, Katie? And I said, yeah, it does. But they just weren't working at that moment in time, and I nearly went head first into her. But
As you're careening toward her, you're like, yeah, it does, and still getting closer and closer.
I mean, I still got a third in that. So I mean,
great.
like, at least she didn't let that affect the marking. But yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, not really what you expect, and all the other like competitors are just there, just like, what is she doing, trying to get up on that board?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I like
I'm gonna
it.
go for this, but
It makes sense to like. like I mean I haven't been to the Worlds or anything, but it makes sense. Like it's always on the green, as we say, right? It's always grassy and it's always raining over there, right? And so a big heavy chair would sink into the mud if there was mud as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but like it was trying to get onto this like wooden boards and
Yeah.
like going from the mud, and my wheels were like totally sunk in the mud.
Yeah.
So trying to get up there, but this manual chair that's gonna have like mountain bike tires on it.
There you go.
So hopefully we won't have any more things like that. 'Cause,
Right. I like imagining too, like if those tubes on those mountain bike wheels are filled up, real well, then it'll have like kind of a cushioning effect. And I love to imagine that suddenly the wheelchair that might have been seen as an impediment initially could become like a superpower, and you could play the steadiest drones on the field, just glide across the grass.
Yeah. Oh well. Hopefully I'll be out like in the circle like sometime, and be like next season going out and entering all these solo competitions and
yeah.
not crashing into the judges. But,
Not crashing. Wait and see how the marks come back right before you start crashing into any judges. See if the band
Yeah.
doesn't send you after them afterward.
yeah. It'll even be great for like if the national youth have anything like that, but
Yeah.
because I did actually like manage to get into them after that.
Right, yeah. So you're
like
in the
that
band then, huh?
workshop.
That's is
Yeah,
that a current
so-
thing? Is that going on right now?
Yeah, so that's happening at the moment. So we've got a few top secret things going on, but let's just say we've got a lot of tunes to work on.
Oh, yeah, I'd imagine. Now, and does the National Youth Pipe Band meet at the Piping Center?
Yeah, so we have rehearsals through there, through like at the National Piping Centre in Glasgow. So there's not actually that many rehearsals. It's very much a case of you practice it in your own time, but and then like you go there and then you play it, all together sort of thing.
So they're trusting that you'll really do the work in the meantime, and then you really just get together to make sure you're tight.
Yeah, so that's sort of how it works, and see if there's any differences they want to make and things like that. But I've been to 2 of the rehearsals so far, and I've loved like both of them. It's just been really great fun, and like they also like let you have a shot of being the pipe major sort of thing. Like they'll choose one of you who is quite confident on the tunes to like be the pipe major, if you like, and everyone has to watch. And they actually let me do that, the last one, and it just felt so good. Like everyone had to watch me, and I was in charge.
Yeah.
I just loved that. Like it was just so cool.
Did you mess with them at all? Like
Always-
take the tempo up a lot faster, or bring it down slower, or anything like that, or just keep it
I'd-
steady?
I did keep it steady, but I
Yeah.
was tempted to just play something completely wild. But
Right, yeah. Thunderstruck.
no,
Just go straight to Thunderstruck, right?
yeah, just go straight in a thunderstruck.
Yeah.
But oh no, it was so good. And like I love how like they didn't see any obstacle with me being in the chair, and like it's just fantastic that like to see that inclusivity and acceptance again. And like I actually got an ASTV news for getting into that.
Oh yeah, I think I
been
saw a
on-
clip of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the news a couple of times now. The first time was when like I got the first and second in the mod, and then like second for National Youth, and then they also got me on like these adverts advertising the STV news for a while. So my 3 seconds of fame, you could say.
No, that's super fun. And I get the impression following you on social media that you busk quite a bit. Is that true, or is that just the impression I'm getting?
No,
You're out there
I
all the
love
time.
busking.
Yeah.
Like I actually saved up to get like a set of small pipes.
Oh,
and,
sure, yeah.
Like because after my my spinal surgery, like I couldn't. I wasn't allowed to go straight back onto the Great Highland pipes because I just had my spine fused with titanium rods and screws. So
Oh yeah, and
it was,
how many is it? Is it all your vertebra, or was it just some up top, some down low? Like How extensive is that fusion?
So it's from like T2 to L2. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
like pretty much most of my back.
Yeah.
It's really quite a big fusion actually. Like a lot of people like will only have not need that much, but it was a 70-degree curve I had at the bottom of my spine, and then a 30-degree curve at the top. And that had actually like increased dramatically over the space of only 3 months.
Wow, really?
It was just getting worse and worse. So, and if I didn't get the fusion by this time, like I would probably not even be able to sit up or even breathe for that matter. And I honestly don't even want to think of how bad it would be. But like I hated the idea of getting this surgery and not being able to play the pipes for a month. I mean, that's just torture. But I mean, I'm sure a lot of pipers would like a wee break from it, but not me.
Yeah, I
I'm
love that anybody else going in for this major surgery too would be concerned about so many other things, but you're going, oh, I have to go a month without playing my bagpipes?
Well, that's what I was saying to them. I'm saying, like, are you sure it has to be a month? But the first thing that happened, actually, like, I played, like, for the surgeons and nurses before.
Oh, did you?
Before the surgery, and they thought I was great.
Yeah.
But after it, like, the first thing I did when I woke up after the surgery, like, you know, I was barely able to, you know, speak or do anything for that matter. But the first thing I did, like, they warned me, you might be paralysed after this surgery.
Oh, dear, yeah.
Because it's so close to the spinal cord, and if that gets even touched, you're going to be paralysed. So they had to warn me of that, and I was like, I knew there was a big risk of that. It was more actually likely to affect my legs. So, I mean, I wasn't really fussed about that. I mean, I don't use them anyway, but like the first thing I did when I woke up was I moved my hands, because there was still a chance that like all of me would be paralysed.
Sure,
and
yeah.
so like the first thing I did was like I was moving my hands in a strange position, and they're like, Katie, what are you doing? I said, I'm playing Bonnie Dundee. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm not paralysed, I can still pipe, that's all that matters.
There you go.
So, I mean, that's all my head was thinking about, was just, like, I mean, obviously I was in a lot of pain and I could barely breathe.
But as you come out...
I was just like, I can play the bagpipes, that's all that matters. And only like, a day later or something, I was back on, like, the Blair digital pipes.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And, I mean, I couldn't remember barely anything. I could barely remember my name for that fact, but I could remember the notes for Blinding Lights on the Bagpipes. So, I mean, that's all you need to know, isn't it?
You'll be fine then, huh?
Yeah. And then I was back on, like, the blowing chanter 3 days, but I was just, like, on my back with the chanter in there, and I posted it on my socials, and I was getting comments saying, Katie, watch you don't drown in your spit there.
That's right. That was my first thought as well. I get so much spit caught up in my chanter when I play. I think, oh, upside down, no.
I mean, I did slightly choke, but it was like, I was in
worth
the right
it though,
place.
right?
Like, yeah, and it's like, I'm in the right place. If anything happens to me, they've just fused my back, so they
They'll
can
take
treat me
care
if
of
I'm, you know. So,
that's a great attitude to have about it. Yeah, if I start drowning in my own spit, there are professionals here who know what to do with that.
Yeah, they know what to do. I mean, that's up to them. Like, but I was in like the hospital for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And like in that time, I was just practicing. Like, I was off my face on so many different painkillers.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was trying to learn these tunes, and I am playing a jig like a reel, and like I am just doing, I don't even know what I was doing, to be quite honest.
In your own head though, were you just having the greatest time?
It made complete sense. It was beautiful. This was the best performance I'd ever played. And I was playing the pure Mexican hat dance. And there's just nurses going past the door like, I can Mexican hat dance in the bagpipes.
Yeah.
And they come in and they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, do you like it? Oh, I'll play it to you. And then I'm getting some of them in dancing as well.
Or at least you thought they were dancing, right?
Well, yeah, but, you know, I even did a wee concert for them I was just in my PJs, and I just got up one day and was like, I want to play a concert. So I played one for the whole hospital, and
Did you?
yeah, so I just went out and got the Blair and just belted out like, I don't even know what it was. I was
Yeah.
off my face.
But again, you were sure you were giving the concert of the century, right?
I mean, I did listen back to a recording of it, and
Yeah.
I've got to admit, like, it was pretty damn good.
Good,
Like,
yeah.
considering like
Yeah.
the circumstances, you know.
Well, I've heard
But
that,
it was,
sometimes being drugged up like that, it can loosen you up a little bit, so you don't have as many inhibitions, so you can play a little more freely.
well, like, you know what, like, my arthritis normally like can get in the way, and I like it'll put me off if I like make one mistake. So I'm like, nah, that wasn't good, and that was terrible, and
Yeah.
I'm hypercritical of myself, really. But no, I was just going with the flow. I was just like, you know, doing whatever the mood took me, and that was great. But
That's awesome.
even in my sleep, actually, like, you know, the sleeps when you're not properly asleep, but you're not awake either because you're on so many drugs. I was in one of them, and my mum got out the phone because I don't remember this, but I've just seen this video of me with my hands on the side of the bed, on like the bars on the side of the bed, playing Itchy Fingers.
Yeah.
And I just woke up from that sleep, and I was like, that was a good barrel. That's all I had to say about
That's
it.
great.
I wasn't even surprised. Like, I've always suspected I play in my sleep because I often have dreams about pure playing goodness knows what, and then like I wake up and I'm finishing the last bar of the tune.
Yeah.
But it was piping that really got me through like that surgery, and like the physios, they didn't even have to do any work with me because when they saw I was playing the chanter, they just left. Just
Yeah.
like, you don't need us.
Right.
Like, you're playing a chanter, you've got piper's lungs, you're fine.
Yeah.
And as well, like, it was mentally, like, having that focus and having something that, you know, that I thought I was doing brilliant at.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was just, it's what gets me through it all. And, like, you know, still when I'm having, like, bad days with arthritis and, like, my chronic pain as well, it is, like, the piping that just, you know, I focus on what I can do, not what I can't. And there's always someone worse off. But me, I can play the bagpipes.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm happy with that. And it's just, I just love it. And, like, social media, seeing people there that are loving it, like, every time I get a notification, I am just, it brings a huge smile to my face because it's just fantastic. Like, every one of them people is someone that likes my music, and it's like, it's just fantastic to see that people are supporting me. I mean, when I thought I set up social media, I thought, I'm going to get about 10 followers, like my brother and some of his pals, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
But, no, like, I've got, well, actually, one of my videos went a little bit viral, as I like to call it, in piping terms, but had, like, over, 8K likes or something.
Yeah,
so I've
yeah.
got I don't even know how many followers I've got now, but, like, it's had, like, 80k views or something crazy like that. It was just a video of Mary's wedding, actually, but people seem to really like that. They were probably singing along, but I think it's like 4.2k on Facebook, and then I've got like loads on Instagram and TikTok.
It's more than
as well.
just your brother and his pals, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, my brother doesn't even follow me. Like,
After all, he doesn't even follow you.
He followed me on my Instagram to, like, you know, start me off, and he's like, right, I'll be your one follower. He just goes and unfollows me. Because he's like,
You get wait a minute, someone unfollowed me. It's your own brother. That's getting crowded for him over there.
You know, he hates the pipes.
Does he really?
Right? He absolutely hates them. And, like, he got the opportunity to learn them at school, and he said, no, I'm not playing them unless I can play Drake and rap and Machine Gun Kelly and all the rest of it. And I'm saying, like, Rory, they're the bagpipes. What are you expecting? But He's just, he's not very fond of
Well,
the pipes.
get him on the snare drum, right? Something like that, huh?
Well, I said to him, he could come out busking on the drums, and he's
That's
like,
right, yeah.
"Can I play Drake, Machine Gun Kelly?" And I don't even know what other artists are that he listens to, but he's like, "Can I play that on the drums?" And I'm like, I'm wanting you to play along to a set of 6/8s. Do you really think I'm going to start belting out pure rap for you to play along to?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no, I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
It's we've got very different tastes in music, very different personalities too. But
Yeah.
I went to a session in Inverness in the summer, and it was just so good. Like I had the small pipes there. I've got a set of Fred Morrison small pipes.
Yeah.
And he rushed the order for me as well, because they were the first thing that I played like after the surgery, like when I got home, because I had to wait like a month till I could get back on the actual pipes. And I did get back on the actual pipes, but I still like love the small pipes too. They have such a great tone to them.
Oh, yeah, those are really pretty pipes. Do you play a mouth blown, or did you get bellows on them?
Mine are mouth blown.
Yeah.
And they have like subtle engravings on them.
Oh, you
as
got
well.
the pretty ones, huh?
Oh yeah. And they're just like I was getting them out of the session, and it was just so good, and like I was just loving it. And but my dad was there, and he's a bit more like my brother in the way that he's not overly keen on pipes.
He loves and supports you, but doesn't necessarily love the pipes.
But he's he likes Flower of Scotland before a football match.
Sure.
But
but only for that long, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's really only to do with the football, to be
That's
quite
right,
honest.
yeah.
At the session, he was like,
looking at his watch.
Have you got any earphones that I can put in?
Yeah.
But it's it's like it's just like what I love, and like my mum's quite keen on the pipes, so
Yeah.
at least I can chat piping at her.
And that's another thing I was curious about, Katie. Do you have any other family members, uncles or grandparents, or anybody that you know of who's played pipes, or are you kind of the first in the family?
I'm the first piper in the family. Yeah. We don't really have like a lot of musicians like in the house. Like none of my close family anyway. Like I've ever played instruments, but
I'd imagine your house has become a lot louder since you started playing then.
Yeah, it used to just be peaceful. Like I would just be through my room watching whatever, and my parents would be through watching Netflix, and now we've had to turn the living room into a piping corner.
Yeah.
Because we've just got like the pipes there, the small pipes there, the other set of pipes there, the this, the that, all the reeds and all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
It's totally changed days now, but no pipers in the family whatsoever. I wish there was, but in a way it makes me like unique, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's always fun too.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, go ahead, Katie.
I was gonna say that like I honestly feel that piping gives you another family.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not like family are not always like your relations. They are like you can make your own family, and like the amount of people I've met through piping, it's just fantastic. Like I went to Inverere's concert, Inverere District Pipe Band's concert, A Night in the Land. And
yeah, I saw some clips from that. It looked like it was great.
Oh, it was so good. And like I can't believe how they all sound like one piper.
Isn't that amazing? Just like a giant piper.
Yeah, and I like got to meet like the pipe major Stuart, and also like John Elliott from them.
Oh yeah.
Because he made me an adapted chanter for my pipes. because with being in the chair, one of the things is that the sound does get muffled by the wheelchair cushion.
Oh, that makes
Because,
sense. Yeah, the foot of it would be right
yeah,
there, huh?
yeah, so like the chanter goes right into the cushion. So it's like the sound, no matter like what strength of reed I'm playing or, you know, how good I'm playing, it was always sounding muffled and just not nearly as loud as anyone else. So I did, some people like suggested, get in touch with John from G1. So I did get in touch with him, and he was experimenting with loads of different chanters. I don't know how many chanters he wasted trying to come up with something, but in the end, he came up with this design that the bottom of the chanter's blocked off, and instead it has a hole at the front for the sound to come out of. So it's so there's nothing like getting muffled by the wheelchair, and the sound can just project out the way. And
Gotcha. Is the bottom a little longer too? Like, does
no.
it? So it's the same length as a normal chanter.
So yeah, so the exact same length. It's
Yeah.
just like a cork, basically like corked off at the
No,
bottom.
gotcha. Yeah.
And it still like has the sound holes at the side, which is great. Still like the exact same space and just a normal chanter, but he tried like different things like tubes coming out of them and like all these different things, and like just corking it off at the bottom worked the best. And it just like the sound since that, like, and I'm nowhere near perfect, but like the sound quality from that chanter like is just absolutely fantastic. And I can't thank John enough, because he made it for free as well. He wouldn't take any money for it. And like the whole team at G1, like they're just brilliant. And he's also like made me the B flat, because I've got my pipes that I use for the standard chanter, and then I've also got a set of Wallaces that I use for B flat.
Oh, sure. What did you play? You played with the Red Hot Chili Pipers a little while ago, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Did you need a B flat chanter for that gig?
Well, it was, so that was the Platinum Jubilee Spectacular.
That's right.
That event. And we were all playing in B flat.
Yeah.
It was the first time I've ever played with like massed pipes and drums, and there was like brass there as well. But it was just such a great feeling. But then like the Chili's, they followed me on social media for quite a while now. They shared me on their Instagram really quite early on. It even made me top fan at one point. But so like
That's great. Where you were probably their top fan, you know, at least in your own heart, right? Anyway, and so that's.
Oh yeah.
I bet that was gratifying.
Yeah, and it's just like they follow me like individually as well, quite a lot of them, and so I when I heard like they were playing at this event, I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I was just like going, I just done my part, and then I was just going round to get a drink, and then I was like, that's James Harper from the Chili's, and then I'm like, oh, and there's Grant, and there's whoever, and like I was just like, and then they're like, oh, Katie, and like they're just like knew who I was, and I was just
Right.
starstruck. I was like,
First time
oh
you've
my
met
God.
him, but since they've been following, they knew you, they knew your name, everything. It's like, oh, hello, Kate. That's
and
great.
it's like it's one thing following someone on social media, like, you know, you followed so many people and you maybe don't remember all of them, but it was
Sure.
like they're the Chili's, and they're like,
Yeah.
hey Katie, and it's like they're like my idols, and it's just like, oh, we'll play a tune with us. And so it was like over the weekend, that event, so it was like the Saturday and the Sunday. So that was like the Saturday I met them, but then Sunday, like the Saturday was like so busy because it was like the first show, and like we were just sort of working out how it was working and what improvements could be made for the next day. But then like the next day, like when the Chili's were playing at the end, they asked me like what tunes I knew, and I listed a whole load of different ones, like from their sets. And like the audience, there must have been like like 1.5K people there. Like there was loads of people, like, and the Chili's they said, Katie, just come up, right? So they gave me a bag cover, and I was like, oh my God, I'm a proper Chile now. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, you can be an honorary member sort of thing. But so yeah, like I got this bag cover, and then like they just like call me over, and they're just like, Kate, come on. So like they just get me up there, and then I'm just playing in front of like 1,500 people with
Oh,
the
wow.
Chili's,
Yeah.
and just like belting out the tunes with them, and like it was just so cool. And they're just saying, oh, just pretend you're busking and just like play along with us.
Just busking for a couple thousand people is all.
Yeah. I'm used to
All
crowds,
at once.
but
I guess you could do that while busking, but usually it's not for that many people at one time.
yeah. But I just loved it. Like it has to be one of the best days of my life. That just like, and like like everyone else was like running around, and just it was such a great atmosphere. Like
Yeah.
I really hope they do another event like that next year, because it was just so good. And like Stuart Sampson was in charge of the massed pipes and drums, so it was like great to meet him as well. And like, oh, it was just so good. And my mum was pure like greeting when she's seeing me playing with my heroes, and
Oh,
like
I'm sure, yeah.
yeah, and like that was such a cool post for the socials as well.
Of course,
Getting to play with
yeah.
the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
That's a
But
pretty big deal.
yeah.
What is that bag cover ready to go for the next time you play with them, or is it under glass now, like framed on the wall? You're never gonna touch it.
I still use it,
Yeah.
like pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
That I just like love it. It's
Yeah.
just like I need to show it off. The world needs
Absolutely.
to see that I have a Red Hot
Everybody
Chili
needs to
Pipers
know.
cover.
That's right. Yeah.
Like I've got yeah, it's just like so cool, and I've got like my 2 sets of pipes.
Maybe tell me about them. Tell me about, you mentioned that one of them's a Wallace set, right?
Yeah, so I
Get nerdy about your kit with us for a minute here. Tell me all about your reeds and stuff. What do you like to play?
So it's the Wallace pipes, and then it's like the G1 chanter in them, and pretty simple setup actually. Like just as I've not really mucked around with them. I just sort of play them as they came.
Nothing wrong with that. If it's not
like
broke, don't fix it.
in my standard pipes, I use like I've got the they're a bit more mixed. Like I've got the Kintail pipes, and then I've got G1 chanter, and then a shepherd reed in them. But for my B flat, I've just kept them the same. Just like G1 reeds and G1 chanter, and then Wallace pipes. Because it was actually like Craig Munro that I met at that like when I was playing with the Chili's, because he was there, and he said that he could like make he has like the Wallace pipes, and he can make me like proper Chili's pipes. But they're so good, and I've got like hybrid bags on both the pipes, because like it feels so much better than just like I think it like feels a lot better than just like a synthetic one. But I couldn't be. I had heard like sheepskin are the best, but I honestly got terrified, because I've heard of people who like went on holiday, come back, and the pipes are totally wrecked because they've got a sheepskin bag.
You got to keep up with it. That's what I've heard too.
Yeah, and like I just didn't want that. But
I tried an all synthetic bag once myself, and it did feel. I mean, some people really like them, but to me it felt too much. I was already used to leather, I guess. I was already used to hide, so that's part of it. But yeah, it feels like those hybrid ones.
Like a balloon.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just like a balloon hanging there. There's no structure to it. It was hard to get used to.
I feel it's a lot better for like striking up as well. And like the I've got like a Bannatyne drying system in that. And like that works perfectly inside it as well. So that's just like they're just like a perfect setup, really.
For the B flat set, do you have like longer reeds, or do you have reed extenders, or do your drones just tune out far enough that you can get down to B flat?
So I have drone extenders in like I don't think I've got one in my bass, but for my 2 tenors I do.
Gotcha.
Because like sometimes I'll be able to get them just like able to tune at B flat, you know, just without any drone extenders. But
Yeah.
I like just like for national youth, especially, I like using like them pipes, and so I've just like put drone extenders in them. But like they work great with them. It's just like the drone extenders that you put like inside the pipes rather than the ones that go on top.
Oh, right, yeah. So they're extending the reed further out.
Yeah, so just like further reeds, because
Gotcha.
I don't want like the ones on top to just fall out mid performance. Like
Yeah.
there was one time my drone was tuning so high actually, and I was just about to play this gig, and then the middle tenor just fell off.
Oh, it just fell off the end of the tuning pin?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
because it was tuning like really high.
And was it something that just like, man, just like singing real high up for you?
Well, it was like 5 minutes before I was meant to be on, and like it had been a really hot day, but then like really cold the day before. So it was yeah, like they were just not coping with the change in temperature very well. And but I just thought, no, there's no point in trying to tune it. I'm just going to cork that one off, and no one will know. It was the middle tenor, so
no one can blame
really
you for
hears
that.
that
Yeah,
one.
that's safer.
Yeah, yeah, but so it does go very well, that event actually. So
It worked
that was
out
good.
okay, yeah.
yeah, worked out okay. No one knows like if you cork off the middle one. I find
Nah, nobody notices, yeah.
they just hear the bagpipes. They're
That's
just like,
right.
that's the great Highland bagpipes. That's just awesome.
Now, that's one thing, Katie. Like, I'd like to think that I wouldn't have, if I'd been one of your instructors or something, I'd like to think I wouldn't have limited the vision, you know. But I do think to myself, like, I might have thought to myself, okay, here's this kid who wants to play bagpipes. Let's encourage her. Let's make it happen. But I might have gone through my head and thought, which kinds of bagpipes are going to be most conducive, right? Like, and I would have gone to something like small pipes, you know, maybe even small pipes in like the key of C or D, so that the chanter would be a little closer together, maybe easier to reach with different fingers and stuff. I would not have said, let's get her on the huge, physically demanding, wide finger spacing, great Highland bagpipes, you know? It's like the most difficult set. Let's get her on those, you know?
Well, you know what? Like, I just have always, like, if I want to do something, I'll try my hardest to do it.
Oh, that's pretty clear, yeah.
And, like, I am such a perfectionist, like, just with, like, everything. Like, when I don't get 100% in tests, I'm not happy with it. And
It could be
if I
99, but you wanted 100, huh?
99's not good enough, honestly. Like,
Yeah, gotcha.
you know, you need to get 100%.
Yeah.
And like, if I get marked down like on my reports and that, like I will question my teachers, because there's this time, like I'm a bit nerdy. I'm into science, and I'm doing like the 3 sciences, math and English at school, and I got marked down on my chemistry, and I said to the teacher, it was my behaviour was marked down or something, and then my effort as well, and I said, why have I been marked down? And the teacher, like, it's not the same one I've got now, but let's just say I wasn't their favourite. And they were like, I was just doing that to be nasty.
They just said that right to you, huh?
Yeah, and I said, because I just put it to them like, I'm really sorry that I've not been as good as I was aiming for. What can I do to improve in your class?
Yeah.
As I'm hoping to do the best I can. I just put it like that to them and said, I'm just being nasty.
Well, there's something to be said for their honesty, I guess, huh?
In French again, that like when I was doing French last year, I got marked down for that. Now I'm not even doing French like as a qualification or anything, like, but I just I questioned them on that as well. You know, I just got to be a perfectionist and things, but.
I feel like that might be a personality trait that goes with bagpiping to some degree too.
Yeah, I think like any musical instrument.
Yeah.
Like I do think a lot of people that play music are just striving for perfection, but that's probably one of the hardest things about the instrument, is knowing that you never really achieve that level of true perfection, and that it's always going to be a learning curve.
There's always something more.
But I mean, like, it's
There's
it's
even stuff after
fantastic.
Zito the Bubble Man. There's still stuff maybe beyond
Yeah,
that, huh?
yeah. I mean, like there can be harder tunes than this, and like there's always more to learn, and you can put in fancier bits here, and like it is like there's always new things to discover with it.
Yeah.
I
Speaking
mean,
of
I have.
fancier bits, I have really been enjoying a lot of your videos lately. You're getting a lot more like slides and tremolos and stuff into your playing. And you're playing them solid too. That's really fun to hear.
Thanks. Yeah, I just I've like started getting like lessons with Dan Nevins
Oh
through
yeah,
the
wow.
piping centre,
Right, yeah.
and I feel like since then, like my understanding and passion for piping like has really come on like a lot more, and I'm just finding myself enjoying it so much more that I'm just like wanting to put in all these fancy little bits into the tunes and that, and like I just feel like you can have a tune but you've got to interpret it your own way sometimes. And I mean
Yeah.
there is a fine balance of that. I mean like for my MSRs I am very much sticking to the music and doing things like that, but for my own stuff, like the modern stuff, I do think that in the wise words of Gordon Duncan, you never play a tune the same way twice. And I think I'm a strong believer that like you've got to make something your own, and like that more like putting your own expression into a tune. Like I mean, it can go wrong and it can sound completely terrible,
Sure. Yeah.
but you know, like you try things and see what works. And I've got to admit I have been trying to do that a bit more lately. Like my one yesterday, my video from Perth yesterday, like
Yeah, that was one of them,
yeah, like that's not how the music's wrote, but
But it sure
I think
sounded
that's
pretty.
one of
That was
the
nicely played.
thanks. I think like it's like any art, is that like it's to be any art form is very much the artist's interpretation of it. So I feel like that is one of the things of music that is just fantastic. I mean, I have been told before, like, to rein in my confidence, actually. And I have
That
had
you
a
were too
few...
confident.
Yeah, that was actually when I tried to get in a competing band.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just got told to rein in my confidence with that, but it just didn't. It doesn't really like put me off. Like if something's not for me and someone doesn't feel something's a fit for me, then you know you've just got to like really just get on with it and just like accept that. But I mean to one of like that one does stick in my head of getting told like I think you need to rein in your confidence was their words. Like that has sort of always stuck with me, but it did hurt that one. But
I'd imagine it would, yeah.
um,
Especially
like
for,
you've
I mean, I'm just thinking like maybe especially for a kid who's enthusiastic about something, right? To be told
well,
like, oh, chill out, you know, like, come on.
yeah, and they didn't like let me play, and it's just like I think like they wouldn't let me like see about joining that band, but and just got told to basically go away and rein in my confidence sort of thing. But things like that, like piping is where I have found confidence in myself, and I've not always been like that. And that's what's really given me like the confidence to be the person I am today. So when you get told things like that, it's a bit of a setback, but you've just got to I think you've always got to look on the bright side of things, and you've got to think that everything happens for a reason, and there's a reason why that wasn't a fit for me. And because of that, something else will happen that's better. So that's what sort of my outlook on things is. You know, you got to look for the best in things and people and everything. So
That's beautiful. And Katie,